Yes, baby. My name's Eddie Winners. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Coup d'etat. I've got Rajiv. We are excited.
I know.
We have got. It is a distinct honor. Mr. Peter Beckett, Mr. Ronn Marsh from Player on the line. How are you guys?
Good morning.
We're good.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
We are excited. This has been a fantastic morning already. We've played some tracks from the new record. The first track, Man on Fire. Dare I save you the pun, smoking hot. I gotta be honest. This track is, I said it earlier in the program, maybe the heaviest Player track I've heard. Is that easy? Would you say that? Would you agree?
Did you say the heaviest?
Yeah, the heaviest.
Yeah, we've got a few of them, but it's pretty kick-ass, yeah.
Player's always been more of a rock and roll band, even though we were known for that blue-eyed soul first record.
You know, and I would almost even say there's some elements in the early records of a little bit of prog, if you will. I mean, you guys were definitely rocking, but the new record is got the rocking parts to it, but it's also got the smooth sounds. And
that's what we are, a little bit of everything.
I love it. Let me ask you guys, how did this record come about? How did you decide we're going to put these tracks together? And you know, what was your inspiration for these particular group of tracks?
Well, I was in the middle of another project. We're always playing a little bit, you know, and we're always writing. But I was in the middle of another project called the Limey Cowboys, which was a country band I was doing, and I had about 5 cuts. And I got a call from Frontier Records, and they said, "Do you want to do an album for us as Player?" And I went, "Absolutely." So I kind of dropped the other thing and picked this up, and I already had about 5 songs, and then I just pretty much wrote the rest of them over a period of about 3 months, and it all went very fast, and produced a lot of it in my personal studio. And that's the outcome right there. Those are the songs I had and came up with at the time.
So, and you just basically, Peter, you wrote these tracks. Did you bring them to the group? You shared them with Ronn and kind of fleshed them out in the studio to do the record?
Pretty much with Ronn, yeah. Ronn. I always play stuff to Ronn, see what he thinks of it, you know. A couple towards the end, I actually was at the mercy of the record company. We only had to come up with the final 2, and I must have sent 10 songs in, and they went, no.
Jeez.
And I went back to the grindstone, you know, and I came up with a couple of tracks that they loved, and it was done.
I noticed that this album closes with the Baby Come Back, a reimagined acoustic version of it. Why did you want to revisit that track and put that on the record?
Well, you know, we do a lot of charity stuff without the whole electronic band, and we just go out with acoustics sometimes, and you know, sing harmonies and play acoustics. And we thought we do Baby Come Back that way. And we thought, what a great idea to just record a version of it like this, and so we did it. I've got to say, it's the vocal harmonies are just fantastic, and you guys just really when you hear the album, that sound is still so present. And I was telling Raj, I've seen the group. You guys have been performing a lot recently. You were recently in Atlanta doing the, believe it, the Yacht Rock tribute performances with Robbie Dupree and a whole host of other guys. And you guys sound phenomenal live. Absolutely insane. Oh, great.
And to be honest with you, I saw this video. And you do the Baby Come Back at the end of it. I noticed this. You go into the guitar solo at the very end of the song, and Ron's looking at Peter and like, oh, this is the moment, and the crowd goes insane. And I see, I've been to thousands of shows. I see you guys are getting pelted by underwear. And it blew my mind. Not only do you still got it, it's better than ever.
You mean you're talking about the bra that got thrown at my head?
That is the one. I mean, you must stay in peak physical condition just to dodge the underwear thrown at you.
Yeah, those underwires, you got to be careful. They can gouge out an eye or
the
something.
underwire, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought somebody had thrown a bottle at me at first because it just scraped the side of my cheek.
Oh, shoot.
I was very relieved that it was a bra.
Now, Ron, you, by the way, you've been busy, I would say, in the last quarter century, working hard at your other job as an actor. On The Bold and the Beautiful. What was it like, I guess, throughout this period, acting, staying on top of that busy schedule? Were you just waiting in between shots with your bass, just waiting to get back on the road?
For 25 years, only a few of those years had been without the music.
Right.
Where Peter was off doing Little River Band for a few years, and I was doing the show. But we came back together quite a long time ago, and we would go out on the weekend.
Sure.
That's all we'd have because of B&B during the week. So we were kind of resigned to just being a weekend band, and we'd go and tour around the United States. And then after 25 years, I decided that that's a good number to pack it in there and move on to other creative endeavors. So we're back to the music and back to other projects.
And speaking of these projects, the lead song "Man on Fire," it featured in a new film, 411, starring Ron Moss. Can you tell us about this new project?
This new project has turned into a trilogy, and the first one is called 411, and it'll set up the other two. But we wanted to have Player's music in it. We got a couple of music videos out of that filming. We've filmed a few of the scenes so far. I'm still looking for the funding. You know how that is when you find funding for a movie. It's always a task. But we're going to feature, we've already made that cool music video, Man on Fire, out of that movie. And it's coming out really nicely. I'm really happy with it. It'll be my first directing endeavor, and I really like the script. I think it'll be exciting.
That is, so this is an ongoing thing, and you're going to be doing two more installments of this project.
There'll be the rest of the movie, obviously, but we will have other Player music in the movie. I think it's being tailor-made for that.
That is fantastic. We're gonna look out for that. You guys are about to hit the road. You're doing a show in Annapolis, Maryland, coming up this coming Saturday at the lovely Ram's Head in Annapolis, and then after that program, you are going to be going to Australia. Is that for 2 weeks? Is that right?
That's actually more than a month.
Oh my gosh! For more than a month in Australia.
All over the east coast of Australia, doing every major city.
That is insane. So you were wasting no time and just jumping in an airplane and heading on over down to lovely Australia. That is exciting.
It's the first time for some of the guys to actually go there. They're gonna have a great time. I don't know if you've ever been to Australia, but it's a cool place to be.
You know what? I'm not sure they'll let me in, to be honest with you.
Probably would.
I am not sure, but I was going to ask, when you guys are setting up your shows to do these, to run through the tracks, how are you picking what songs you're going to play, and how are you putting together your set?
Well, we have a staple set that we do, which is it comprises the hits, the Player hits, some songs from my solo album some 20 years ago, and we've got a handful of the new things in there now from this album. So it's kind of nice. It's a nice package of songs.
Well, let me ask you this: the Player in 2014. If you were to compare Player in 2014 as far as writing, recording, and touring as a functioning band, how is it different? What have you guys learned in these years? From back in the original days, in the 80s and 70s. How is it different? Your approach to the band?
I don't think our approach is very different at all. The music business has changed drastically. In the old Player days, we only ever, it was a short-lived band. We were only together for 4 years or something?
5 years.
Before the original band split up. And we only ever really played arenas. We did the Buzz Skaggs Silk Degrees tour, and then as Baby Come Back hit #1, we jumped onto the Eric Clapton Slow Hand tour. We did the Dog and Butterfly tour with Heart. We did the, what was the Kenny Loggins tour? It was Footloose tour.
Jeez.
A handful of sporadic gigs, and then we, that was it. So we were used to playing in arenas to 20 and 30,000 people, and of course, we're not going to do that anymore.
Yes.
So you know, it's a little different in that we're playing smaller places now, and it's much more intimate, you know.
I think what we're showing now is that Player has always been more of a rock and roll band, and we're able to do more of that now and give people real varied flavor. We're not just playing hits from the '70s, the late '70s. We're very now. We feel like we're a very relevant rock band now.
I love that, and you know, one of the greatest things that I was thinking about this is. The Player really it symbolizes the friendship between Peter Beckett and Ronn Moss. I mean, you guys have known each other, what, now close to 40 years?
Yep.
It is, I mean, to stick together and to continue playing, it really is a testament to both your friendship and being able to even, you know, going in different directions in different bands and coming back together. It is it really is. I'm glad you guys are keeping this music alive and keeping the band going and even carving out the new directions. And which brings me to a question. You guys recently were on TV. And for the General Hospital Nurses Ball episode. How did this particular TV appearance come about?
It came about with ABC actually calling and thinking that Player would be a good set in that part of the script, in that finishing of. This is like their biggest show of the year. I was actually surprised because it's a different network than Bold and Beautiful was on.
Right.
Generally, other networks don't cross over to other people that way. And so it was because I had been off the show for a while, they felt comfortable and felt right. And I was really pleased about it because I know everybody on the show. I've known all the people that produce and cast the show for years. So it was quite nice. And they treated us well, and it actually was a great placement for the group.
And it was that version of Baby Come Back. That was a different version than the original as well. It was a
different version that we did totally separate for that show.
That is incredible. You know, watching the show out of the context, it seems like the weirdest ball for a band to perform.
It was and we only did maybe 1 or 2 takes, and they got everything they filmed from that. They worked very fast, which I'm used to, and I think the group had a good time with it. But that sort of set up, if your next question is how would I participate in a celebrity wife swap show, that's also an ABC show, and I think the General Hospital thing kind of set that up.
Is that right?
ABC, within a month, I was doing the other show as well.
Clever bastard.
You know, it's the funniest thing is I'd never seen the celebrity wife swap. I'd heard of the practice, but when I watched the show, it was a lot different. How much, Ron, is and can you answer this? How much of that show is acting and showbiz, and how much of it is actual is Ronn Moss getting angry?
It wasn't any Ronn Moss getting angry at all. I felt like I was pretty much acting through the whole thing because that's the kind of the story they set up. You know, Devin was having so much fun with that little 4-year-old boy in the other house.
Yes.
Family's house, that they had to make mine kind of the rub, and everything was a push. I had to push back with everything. So I had to just turn it on. I mean, do I look like I would get that upset about a damn tandem bike?
No way. That's why I knew it. I was like, this guy is doing it.
It's all set up, and a lot of funny. The producer would say, "Oh, hey, Ron, ask her about this." And that became some of the things that people slammed me about.
Oh, yes.
I asked her, "Are you guys really intimate, during the day?" And it makes me look so ostentatious and presumptuous and inappropriate. I got the whole gambit of stuff after that one. But it's all in fun.
Oh, it's you did it gracefully. You look like you're having a blast. I mean, and I gotta be honest. I mean, you guys, when I see these appearances and the interviews, you guys sound like you're having a lot of fun doing what you're doing right now.
We are.
You got to have fun doing it. Otherwise, what's the point?
Exactly.
You gotta have fun doing anything you do. Otherwise, what's the point?
And you guys, I mean, by the way, you must be having fun. You're doing rehearsals right now for your tour. How are the rehearsals going?
They're going great. They're going really well. We're
near the end.
We're near the end for the gig. We're looking forward to Saturday a lot.
Yes.
And I'm hoping we can get a good crowd to come out and see us.
Yes, well, I know that we've got a few fans have already asked us about the show, so we're actually looking forward to hearing the feedback about the program on the Saturday night, and I'm excited. I want to hear when you guys come back from Australia. If you guys come through the California area again and play through the Bay Area, we'd love to even talk more, follow up, and see how these developments are coming.
That'd be great.
I would love it. I got a couple more real quick, just random questions. One from a fan. This is for Peter. Peter, we were discussing this earlier. I believe it's true. You grew up in England, Liverpool. Is it true that you, as a child, were at the Cavern Club watching the Beatles perform? Is that true?
Yeah, I was too young to be in the club. I was only about 15 or 16, and my brother's 3 years older than me, and he worked downtown in an office, and they used to do these lunchtime sessions for the office workers in the middle of Liverpool.
Wow.
Cavern is a basement. It's a cellar down below the street. It's like a cobbled street of these warehouses. And he took me in. He knew the bouncer on the door that day, and he took me in. And as I was walking up the cobbled street, the floor of the street was shaking, And, we're going back a long time here, and it was just so loud and rumbly, and went down into this cellar that left a lot to be desired. It was pretty smelly and atmospheric, And the Beatles were playing. This particular, they'd just come back from Hamburg, and they were doing this lunchtime session, and it was so loud. And that was it for me. I was like, that's it, I'm going to be in a band,
And that's pretty much the moment that started it for you.
And a little later than that, about 12 years later, when I was a musician and I moved down to London, I became an Apple writer for a while, and I'd never met any of the Beatles. And I was walking down the stairs of the Apple building, and coming up the stairs were Paul McCartney and John Lennon in the suits that they wore. I think they may have just shot the Abbey Road cover that day.
Is that right?
Had the beards, the pinstripe suit, the white suit. And the guy I was writing with, he knew them, and he said, Paul and John, this is Peter Beckett. He's a writer here, a new writer. And I shook their hands. Of course, I didn't have a camera because we didn't have cell phones in those days. And they went upstairs. They said, we're just going to go visit this songwriter we've signed from America. And it turned out to be
James Taylor.
James Taylor.
Is that right?
Wow. Sweet baby James on the top floor.
That is incredible. And you and that job that almost led to you almost becoming a member of Badfinger. Is that right?
Yeah. Now I did an interview yesterday, and the lady asked me. She said, "You had a chance to join Badfinger, but you came up short, right?" And I said, "No, I kind of did because I didn't go. I was invited to come in, and they knew who I was from Liverpool and stuff. And Joey, who ended up at the gig, he's kind of another version of me from Liverpool. We play guitar, we sing, and we write. And I went to a party the night before the audition, and I got hammered and had a great time, and I didn't go.
Oh, yes. That sounds like half my career.
Mine too.
That is amazing. And then Peter, so you real quick, you guys met in L.A. Peter, you came to America '74. how did you guys were writing songs? How did when you first met Ron? How did you start Player back in those days?
Well, it's kind of, this is interesting. I was riding, around Hollywood Hills, and I was invited to this party where everybody was wearing white. It was like some big celebrity party. And I wasn't wearing white. I didn't know anything white. I had like a T-shirt and jeans on. And I met this other guy there called J.C. Crowley. And he was not in white either, And we started talking. He's from Texas. I'm from Liverpool. He was a writer. I was a writer. And we agreed to get together a few days later and try to write something. And that was actually the start of it. But more currently, Robin Williams was at this party, and we met him that night. And he was real young, and he was just starting to make it, And that's a whole sad thing.
Yes.
Right there.
And so you guys decided to put the band together. And was Ron, were you at this party?
I wasn't at the party, but shortly after that, a manager friend of ours said, "Ron, I got a couple of guys that I want you to meet. I think you guys would get along well, and let's see what happens."
What were you doing with yourself at the time? Like, what was?
I was just doing studio session type work.
Oh, okay.
And
I wasn't in another group then, just playing with various industrial type projects.
Oh, cool.
And Ron, you grew.
So we got together, and it was instant chemistry, and we started writing and playing, performing, rehearsing in JC's garage, and there we go.
And that is it. And that the rest, they say, is history. Is that right?
About 7 months later, we had the #1 song in the country.
And that I've got to ask you. I mean, not many people on this earth have had the pleasure of being a part of something so huge.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yes, lightning in a bottle, very much. And if that bottle was around me, I would have drank it. So, but had you...
I just wanted to say something.
Yes.
Pete, I was in Little River Band for 8 years, and we do a little tribute in the set to Little River Band. And obviously Ron was on Bold and Beautiful, so it's not just for Player fans to come down. If there's any LRB fans out there, Bold and Beautiful fans, we want you all down there. We want you hanging out the windows.
Yes, that is.
We're gonna have a few surprises that night. I think people are going to be very entertained.
I can't wait. I think it's. I mean, between Ron's career on the Bold and Beautiful, the Player's career. I mean, you've got a lot of. High profile. You're out there. There's a lot of where you can draw a lot of fans in, and I think that I really think that that's great. It must be a real sensation to be back out on the road and promoting this the new record, Too Many Reasons. And
a lot of firepower going right now, and it's feeling really good. This is the best group we've had in so long. I
love it. Do you guys travel with a level of security, any kind of with any kind of I was wondering if weapons, or do you know any martial arts, simply and only just to fight off all the ladies? Because
we don't really want to fight off the ladies.
I would have thought it after this many years.
You want to get along with ladies.
Yes.
They don't want to fight. They want to get along. Eddie.
I don't know. Maybe I've got to work on my.
They want to have open and honest communication with them.
That is something I've never tried.
Just think about it.
I tell you what, guys, I'm so thrilled and excited to have had you guys on the program, and I really wish all of the best to you guys in Australia, and of course in Annapolis. Hopefully, I'm gonna have some friends come down and shake your hands and rock out with you guys out in the crowd. When you get back, we'd love to have you back on the program and share with us what's next for Player.
Absolutely, mate.
Do it.
Would just like to throw out the website.
Oh, please do.
You can see what's going on about this Saturday and everything else. It's player-theband.com.
Player-theband.com. We do that in unison anytime anyone says the name. And you can buy the new record. It is available on iTunes. And Ron, your website is it ronmoss.com?
RonnMoss.com. Ron with 2 N's.
You got it. You guys.
If you gentlemen are on Facebook, we're going to post all that information up on Eddie's Facebook page. So.
Yes,
Oh,
and
very
we'll be passing it and putting it up on the website. I got to say, it has been a pleasure and a real honor to have you guys on the program. And we really, really wish you the best. And we're going to hopefully hear from you guys when you get back. Safe travels, and thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Great fun.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, mate, take care.
All right, take care. Ladies and gentlemen, that was player Peter Beckett, Ron Moss. We're going to play the single from their new album, Too Many Reasons, and we're going to get back after the break.